All right. Today has been the day when Vinicius Jr. was expected to report at the training facility of Real Madrid. And indeed, he went ahead to obviously arrive there, and a lot of things really went ahead to happen in there for you. And we obviously going to be telling you what Arsenal has been told the asking price for Vinicius Jr. is. Many have been asking, and even yesterday when I was in the live, many asked me, Rokani, what is the asking price for the side of what is it called? What is the asking price for the side of Vinicius Jr. from Real Madrid? And I've obviously gone ahead, land on that, and I'm like, let me drop it to you in here onto a beautiful channel. So smash like button, comment, and share. If at all you're watching us for the very first time, endeavor to subscribe to this channel so as not to miss out on the stories that we do upload in here on a day. Now, I've seen people practicing, is it called sarcasm? Is it the right word? They're trying to be sarcastic about this transfer. You know, some people are deluded indeed, and they exactly know what it means for Vini to obviously go ahead and obviously join the club of Arsenal. I've seen staunch Real Madrid fans say when he leaves, he would have gone ahead to obviously leave the best club in the world. Yeah, they're the best club in the world, but let me tell you, you're the best club in the world, but you can't lose your best player. I tell you, if you lose Vinicius Jr., do you know what it means to obviously get back a player known as Vinicius Jr.? And for Vinicius Jr., it's a special product for Real Madrid. They bought him way back from Brazil, and was it Catalan, obviously, who brought him in, you know? And when he brought him in, they had to groom him and see to it that he turns out to be that player that they want. You understand? So they should fight for him to stay, but the stakes are high for keeping him. So today morning, he obviously went ahead to arrive at the training ground of Real Madrid. And we are told by Alvaros Estabani that Vinicius Jr. has arrived at Real Madrid City at 8:27 a.m. Training starts at 10 a.m. So he arrived very early in the morning when he was left with like 1.5 hours to obviously go ahead and be the train for Real Madrid. Then we are told by Miguel Sanz that Vinicius Jr. arrived in Valdebebas this morning and plans to meet with the club's management in the coming days to settle his future. The offer presented by Real Madrid for a 4-year contract renewal does not meet Vinicius Jr.'s ambitions. Arsenal are ready to offer Vini the highest salary in history of the Premier League, an amount that comes very close to what Kylian Mbappe currently earns at Real Madrid. Now, I think some people come here to speak, and they're in Spain, they don't exactly who the highest player in the Premier League earns. Now, when you look at Haaland, I think he's the highest paid athlete in the Premier League. He earns 525,000. You understand? And if that's pounds to euros, 525, 1, 2, 3. So he is the highest earner in there for you. And Arsenal is willing to offer this one for £400,000 a week. You understand? So he might not be the highest paid athlete in Premier League history. The man who has that record is Erling Haaland. Now, after he arrived, and obviously he went ahead to train, then we started to obviously get in some big stories. And this guy, Jeff Felix Diaz, if you've been following up on him, I tell you, he is a man with a lot of credible information. You understand? And he has gone ahead to break some big stories, especially in La Liga, as far as transfers are really concerned, of players in La Liga moving from one side to the other. Now, Jeff Felix Diaz said, if Vinicius Jr. doesn't sign a new contract with Real Madrid, The Spanish club will ask north of 150 million euros for the Brazilian winger. Real Madrid will only consider selling if the price is met. So, he said that if Vinicius Jr. doesn't, it's a question of if. So, if Vinicius Jr. doesn't sign a new contract with Real Madrid, they want to sell him north of 150 million euros. He added, any potential deal for Vinicius Jr. by Arsenal would be around 50 million euros. And then Miguel San said, Florentino Perez is demanding 170 million euros, that is 145 million pounds, while Arsenal wants the deal value not to exceed 150 million. In the Arsenal are very serious about this file. So, the fact is, it's around 150 million euros. And where are Real Madrid benchmarking this from? From the deal of Kylian Mbappe. Now, I tell you, Real Madrid know the worth of this player. If he's left with just 1 year on his deal and they are calling for 150 million euros onto the club account of Real Madrid, then don't downplay the value of this guy. You understand? Don't downplay the value of Vinicius Jr. And for whoever who says that Vini is not wanted at Real Madrid, let me tell you. Why do you offer a renewal to a person you don't need? I think if the value is 150 million euros for a player who is left with just 1 year on his contract, if you never needed him, you would have gone ahead to tell Arsenal, get me the 150 million euros, leave my club. Now, but by the fact that a contract is being put on the table of Vinicius Jr., and it has been like that for the last 2 seasons, and he has been saying no, it speaks volumes that the player wants to leave the side of Real Madrid. So, Real Madrid fans, don't turn this into banter. I hate it when people turn to be deluded when they don't talk the truth. I respect every person's opinion, but when it gets to a level when some people need to be injected some sense into their heads, I'm like, please, let me step forward. You cannot offer a contract to a player who you don't need. That means if you don't need him, you are like, let us sell you when you still have 2 years on your contract and we get him the amount of money that we want. But because you even let him run his contract to 1 year left, that shows how important this player is with the club of Real Madrid. And that's why they are like, please sign this contract. You understand? And you've gone ahead to hear their number one outlet, media outlet known as Marca, trying to obviously come out and issue contradicting statements. Vinicius Jr. is going nowhere. 1 hour later, Vinicius Jr. will leave Real Madrid because Real Madrid are not willing to obviously meet his new contract demands. You understand? So they continue contradicting themselves, right? He cannot sign for Arsenal. He loves Real Madrid. Vini wants to go. So a lot of contradictory statements have been put out. But let's go to the price. 150 million euros for the club of Arsenal to really get in this lad. Let me tell you, if Arsenal was willing to pay this amount of money for Julian Alvarez, they should be willing to transfer this fee to Real Madrid, not Atletico Madrid. Because Vini is one of the fewest players in the world that are really at that level that you can get at 150 million euros, I tell you. A player in a stage of Vinicius Jr., when he's having 2 years left on his contract, 200 million euros plus, that's what the side of Real Madrid will be calling in for. You understand? And when you look at a player like Vini, he transforms Arsenal totally. Why? He changes the entire history of Arsenal. You get? How many star players have you seen come to Arsenal? By the way, Arsenal has not been fond of bringing in those star players. I think you'll talk about Mesut Ozil. He came in through with the big stuff from Real Madrid. You'll talk about Aubameyang. I think he was not all at the level of Mesut Ozil, but he was really the talk about town in Europe. You understand? And not very many players at the level of Mesut Ozil has Arsenal gone ahead to sign. That means that this will be a marquee signing that will obviously transform the history of the club. But I can tell you, Manchester United signed Angel Di Maria at his prime. They brought in one Sebastian Veron. We've seen the likes of Zlatan Ibrahimovic, Cristiano Ronaldo return, and obviously get it to the next level. The likes of Chelsea, I've gone here to bring in Shevchenko. Who else have they brought in when it's really a star player? Michel Ballack. It's something that Arsenal has not been doing in its history, and I think they just did it on Mesut Ozil. So this is once in lifetime opportunity for Arsenal to obviously get Vinicius Jr. into their player cast. So 150 million euros, I do think Arsenal do have the money. That is it. I believe Arsenal do have the money to accomplish this deal. That is it. They do have the money to get this deal out of the way. That's why they're 100% sure in. They've gone ahead to make their promises, and very soon we'll be hearing what will be their first offer. And who is obviously responsible for all this? It's Josh Kroenke, who wants this to elevate the club. Obviously, the shirt sales will obviously increase. When you look at Vinicius Jr., let's look at Vinny. Vinicius Jr. shirt sales at Madrid last season. How much money did he make for Real Madrid? So, they are saying that exact oversell sales of Vinicius Jr. at Real Madrid are not publicly disclosed by the club, but he consistently ranks among their top merchandise earners. He generally places highly in squad sales alongside teammates like Jude Bellingham in there for you. So they're not telling us how many shirt sales he has gone ahead to sell, but he's among the top three: Mbappe, Vini, and Jude Bellingham, meaning that he really sells a lot. So if you bring him through and you're the club of Arsenal, and at least you add like 1 million shirt sales onto the usual shirt sales that you make on the club of Arsenal, that means Adidas will obviously add you more and more and more money in your next deal. And the club will also be generating in more money in there. So Arsenal have been told the selling price for Vinicius Jr. It's 150 million euros. Something that they're willing to offer to Atletico Madrid for a player called Julian Alvarez. Now, I don't think that this is a lot of money for Arsenal, because they opted out the deal of Morgan Rogers because they had gotten an offer from Rock Nation that Vinicius Jr. is a variable and he could be in that region of money. So they are like, let Morgan Rogers go to the club of Chelsea because he had chosen Arsenal, but Arsenal pulled out because of this hot deal that went ahead to obviously be placed onto their table. So as it stands, the side of Arsenal came up and obviously put in a very huge shift, and they diverted. And now, if it was 130 million euros for a player known as Morgan Rogers that they're willing to pay, that means if you're willing to pay 130 million euros for Morgan Rogers, you must be willing to pay 150 million euros for a man known as for a man known as who? For a man known as Vinicius Jr. So guys, your thoughts onto these stories are welcome in the comment section below. Rokani David is my name, and continue to subscribe because you know where we want ourselves to be. And I would like to start up my day tomorrow when we're gonna head to hit 29,800 subscribers. Yet we are too shy to hit that milestone. So please do the needful and see to it that we hit that milestone. So please go ahead and really subscribe. How do you subscribe? Lower bottom lower left corner, right? There is a black button that has the word subscribe. After smashing it, hit the notification bell. That will enable you get notified every time we upload a video onto this channel. You understand? So, Rokani David is my name. This is the fourth video of the day, fourth upload of the day. But the live stream will come on later on as we obviously sum up the day, as we obviously go ahead and obviously maybe go to all the done deals and going through all of them and what has been happening in the transfer market. Rokani David signs out. Bye-bye.